I started out of college as a management trainee at Provident Bank. Got into banking because my economics professor, when I was a senior, thought I was an idiot because I didn't know what I wanted to do with a career. I was working at Sears Roebuck as a salesman part-time, and he couldn't believe that a fellow getting ready to graduate college didn't know what to do. And spent about nine and a half years there. And then a fellow called Ken Lucas, who was a friend of my family, approached me, and there was an opportunity to be the senior lender at a small community bank called Boone State Bank. Having grown up in the bigger bank environment, when I went to join Boone State, I thought I knew it all. The truth is, in hindsight, I knew nothing about banking till I got with the community bank. I learned in that couple years I was with Boone State the value of community bank, what we bring to a community, the up-close and personal approach that we can help small businesses to develop. And Northern Kentucky is nothing but a bunch of small businesses. Over the period of time that I was with Boone State and then Fifth Third acquired us, all the community banks in Northern Kentucky except one disappeared, and that was Hebron Deposit. And some of us just got kicking it around that the community was hurting for that. They needed it. There was a pent-up demand for it, and we decided to take a shot at it. I always tell everybody I was one of the dummies. I wasn't shoved out. I quit at the heels of a promotion to take a salary cut and start a bank that I didn't know if we could be successful or not. So I'm not real bright. I resigned Fifth Third early in January of 1990, and we opened August 1st. So it took about 8 months to get everything going. And it was an interesting process, kind of humbling and scary in a way. I chose to do all the application process myself. And it was, the documents went in total when they were put together was roughly a half a foot of paperwork that we sent to the FDIC. So we started with $7 million. And then all we had to do was wait for approval. We went and rented a trailer to open up in. We found a site that we out on Route 18 in Florence that we wanted to build our headquarters at, and opened in a trailer, and then the fun began. When I went and approached these people, it was the greatest leap of faith you could ever ask anybody to do. Folks today don't know or care, but every one of the original people, myself included, took enormous salary cuts. And we were a startup, we had no income. And they were just buying into a dream. That's all I could do, was share a dream with them of what the bank might become, what we were capable of, where the opportunities lied. Call it ego, I guess, but I didn't go after people that were being thrown out of banks. I went after the ones that I thought was the best, with the best set of ties, looking really hard at a work ethic. I figured the key to our success was going to be to outwork the competition. We knew we wouldn't be better bankers or any smarter than them. We just had to outwork them, and we had to be efficient at what we did. And every one of the first 7 put in just incredible hours. And I'd say it was a lot of fun. You know, typical day though in the trailer, you know, we'd get there early, make sure it was clean, get things set up before the customers came in. We'd work all day. In my case, I lived pretty close to the bank in those days. I'd go home, eat dinner with my family, go back up to the trailer and spread financial statements by hand on loans that we were working on. And I might work there till 10 or 11 at night. And then I'd go on home and come back the next day and we'd start all over. And I can assure you Bob Fulkerson and the others did the same things. When there's 7 of you working in close proximity, there wasn't much room in the trailer. It was small. People today wouldn't know what a proof machine is, but it's a pretty good sized piece of equipment that you process checks. Well, we had to set that in a closet. And there was one bathroom in the place, and it wasn't very soundproof in there, so that was always awkward when somebody walked in there. We were so, I'll leave this name out of it, but we were so cost conscious that one of the ladies, the original employees of ours, thought that she threw something out in the dumpster one day. And so it was on a Saturday. We were open half a day, so she went and climbed in the dumpster of all things, trying to get it out. Well, she couldn't get back out, and everybody left. They didn't know where she was. And so apparently she stayed in the dumpster for several hours before she was able to stack enough boxes out to climb out. That's a true story. We had an evening that at midnight that the cleaning people called when we first moved into the headquarters and said, and we had all the furniture from the trailer sitting in the lower level, and they said that the sewage system had backed up and we had a nightmare. And I went up with one of my children, one of my sons, and we started taking bricks and trying to lift furniture up on it. and the level of water and stuff just kept rising. So I called Biz Kane, who had a plumbing supply business, got him out of bed, and he goes to his store and picks up all kinds of pumps and everything else. So we worked all night long to get the stink out of the place and get it cleaned up. So we had a lot of fun stories. We did a little bit of whatever it took in those days. Well, we've always had a great sales culture. Hopefully we stole the best parts of what we learned at other banks. From the first day we opened the doors, we started doing monthly blitzes. That was a Fifth Third thing when I worked there, and it was very effective. Probably the first big milestone was, and it took us about 2.5 years to get there. We hit the 100 million mark. And if you could go back in time and look at what the old community banks around northern Kentucky looked like, that was actually a decent sized one. The biggest ones, when they all sold out, had only been in the 350 million mark. So at 100 million, we were pretty good size. We had, about that time, the laws were such that you could only expand into another county through acquisition. So we made a very small acquisition of a savings loan, Burnett Savings Loan, down in Covington, which got us into Kenton County. And that happened right at the time we hit the 100 million mark. So those two things were both milestones. They kind of put us on the map at that time. Everything we do still is up close and personal. You know, we like to call it high touch, high tech, high touch. I look at that we've got every competitive advantage. We're more nimble, we're quicker. It sounds good to say that you're a community bank, but that's only good if you look at that we're just serving this one kind of small geographic area, but not if you think of us as your mom and dad's community bank. You know, we're a lot more than that. What people don't know about us is our treasury management is throughout the entire United States. So I'm not sure what kind of deal would be too big for us now. And really, if you look at our staff at the bank, I'm real proud of them. That's the key to any company. Everybody that works for us, most everybody, at least in management, has grown up in large banks. We've kind of been there, done that. We're the same type of people that you see across the river working on something. We've got the same experiences, the same background, and in almost all cases, the same education. A year or two ago, I was thinking about why do we exist? Why are we going to be here? And I have a responsibility to the shareholders. That's obvious. But you know, I don't think that's even the right answer anymore. I think the right answer is for the community. I look around northern Kentucky, and as the big banks have changed their models and they've expanded, whether it's to Chicago or Florida or wherever they've gone, they don't participate in the philanthropy efforts to the degree they used to in northern Kentucky. They like to do big things that'll make a big splash, but I'm talking about the smaller organizations that might need a $25,000 gift or a $10,000. And don't get me wrong, big banks are awesome. They're great, but that's on the big things. And I look around the community at these organizations and I realize we're really making it happen for these companies. We play a key role there, and I think for that reason alone, we're going to stick around for a while.